Hello there. In today's video, you will learn method of induction. And in method of induction, we basically prove some of the statements and I will explain to you the exact procedure in this video. And I've taken one problem. So we will solve a problem and I'll teach you each and every step. So let's start. Here, I want to prove this statement. I want to prove that this is equal to this. And a very important point to note is your n, the variable n, has to be a strictly positive integer. So it's not a real number. Note that point, that this method will only work for positive integer. It has to be an integer number, the positive integer number. It cannot be a real number. It cannot be a fraction, cannot be irrational, rational, all of that. So for positive integers, okay, we want to prove this statement. Now, the name of the method is called as method of induction, or sometimes you might want to call it as a simple deductive proofs, and that's what we are doing right now. Very easy method, very efficient, okay, but with the condition that will work only for this. Now, steps for doing method of induction remain same, okay. For any problem, you will exactly do the same thing to get the answer, and these are the steps. You precisely do 3 steps. In the first step, I will explain this better with the help of a problem later on, but let's just take a quick recap. In the first step, step 1, we will prove it for the initial value, like the first value. Now, first value of a positive integer is 1. So we will prove it for n is equal to 1. We will prove this statement. Step 1 done. Now we move on to step 2, and in step 2, we don't prove anything. We assume, do you see that? We assume that this statement is true for n is equal to k. And k is some positive integer. It can be any number, right? Any positive integer. After we done step 2, now we will use the step 2's result, and with the help of that we will prove in step 3 for n is equal to k plus 1. Now enough this explanation. I think we should start solving the problem so that you understand these things better. Let's begin. So let's start the solution. The step 1, okay, is prove for n is equal to 1. Okay, that's my initial value. Now here in this you have left hand side, okay, and left hand side your n value is going to be 1. That's my step 1. So if I put n as 1, right, it is just r is equal to 1 to 1. So r will have only one value, which is 1, and you put that here and you will get LHS. This will become 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1, and this is 2 raised to 1 minus 1 because r is 1. 2 raised to 1 minus 1. Okay, so this will go from 1 to 1 only, that is just 1, and I put that value, I got this. Let's see what we get here. This is 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 raised to 0, and that is just 2. That's what I got, the LHS answer. Now let's work with the RHS, okay. What is RHS? The right hand side here is 2 raised to n, 2 raised to n, right, and we are taking n is equal to 1. So it is going to be 1, 2 raised to 1, which is 2 again, and LHS is equal to RHS, right? So when we say LHS and RHS is equal, we have proved it. So the step 1 is already done. Now after step 2 is done, now we're going to move on to step 2, where we don't have to prove, we have to assume that it works for n is equal to k. Let me do that. Now for step 2, assume it works for n is equal to k. So when I say it works for n is equal to k, I can just replace n by k. You see n is here, here and here. I will replace that by k, and I say sum of r equal to 1 to k. This is r plus 1, 2 raised to r minus 1 is equal to k, 2 raised to k, right? And I am not questioning this. I am saying that this works. So we know that this is equal. That's step 2. And I also want to elaborate this. On the left hand side, you have this summation, right? Now in this sum, r going from 1 to k, what if I expand it? Okay, what will I get here? So let me see what I get for this. Okay, let's say r value is 1. Now when r value is 1, I put it here. This is 1 plus 1, 2, and 2 raised to 0. That's what I get at r equal to 1. Do you get it? Now next put r is equal to 2. Now when I put r is equal to 2 here, this is 2 plus 1, 3, and this is 2 raised to 1, and on and on and on. Tell me what will be the last value of this summation. It will be, last value is r equal to k. So you put that here. This will be k plus 1. This is 2 raised to r is k plus 1. Now this is what I got for r is equal to k. And then on the right hand side I have got k 2 raised to k. That's my RHS. And we know this is equal. So we are not questioning it, we are assuming it. Assume it works. So we know this is equal to this. Now very important, we will be using this in step 3, okay, to prove the later part. Now I really have less space. Let me clear the space here and solve this. So okay, in step 3, we will prove for n is equal to k plus 1. Now what we want to do is, we want to put n is equal to k plus 1 and we want to prove it works. So the original equation was, this is sum of r equal to 1 to k plus 1, right? This is r plus 1, this is 2 raised to r minus 1 is equal to k plus 1, 2 raised to power k plus 1. So basically, last time we used n is equal to k in step 2, and in step 3 we will be using n is equal to k plus 1. Now for n is equal to k plus 1, wherever there is k, now you will get k plus 1. But this is, I'm not assuming this equal. I am questioning this. So we want to prove whether the left hand side and right hand side is equal. And if it is equal, then we will say, well, this statement holds true for all integers, all positive integers. Okay, so now how do we do this? We will have to solve LHS and RHS separately, because we don't want to assume this as equal. So what is going to be LHS? Okay, the left hand side is sum of r is equal to 1 to k plus 1. This is r plus 1, 2 raised to r minus 1. And we will put r from 1 to k plus 1. So this will become, r becomes 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. And this is 2 raised to 0. This is what I'll get for r equal to 1. I hope you get it. The first value r equal to 1, I put it here. 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 raised to 1 minus 1 is 0. That's for r equal to 1. Plus, then r equal to 2. So this will become 3, 2 raised to 1. Then 4, 2 raised to 2. This is for r is equal to 2. This is for r is equal to 3. And on and on and on. So the last value will be, okay, the last term you will put is r equal to k plus 1. Now when you do that, this will become k plus 1 plus 1. I put here k plus 1, and that's what I get here. And this will be 2 raised to k plus 1 minus 1. I think you see it will cancel out. And that's basically what I got, the LHS. And the last value I got is for r is equal to k plus 1. Now I want you to be very, very attentive to this. From r is equal to 1, 2, 3, all the way up to k plus 1, I got this expansion. Now, the very important point here is, do you see last is k plus 1? So what will be a term just before that? The term just before that will be r is equal to k. Now, what happens at r equal to k? If I put r is equal to k in this, that second last term is going to be k plus 1, 2 raised to k minus 1. And now if you observe carefully, this value, like this expression, is exactly what we have here. See that? Now because it is the same expression, well, the value is this. So you will simply write this. Okay, let me use a space on this side now. This will be this will become k 2 raised to k, k 2 to the power k, and then there is the last statement there, that is plus. This will become k plus 2 and k plus 2 and 2 raised to k, isn't it? It's k plus 2 into 2 raised to k, isn't it? Now I can take 2 raised to k out, so I'll get 2 raised to k. This is k plus 2. Of course, that's 2k plus 2. 2 raised to k, 2k plus 2. Then you can take 2 out. 2 raised to k times 2 is equal to k plus 1, and 2 is 2 raised to 1, you can club these two terms. Base is same and height is, the index is k and 1. It will become 2 raised to k plus 1 and times k plus 1. This is what I got, the value of LHS. Can we now solve for RHS also? Yeah, what is RHS? RHS is here. Oh, we already have that. It's 2 raised to k plus 1 times k plus 1. So this is exactly equal to RHS. So we have left hand side and right hand side is equal. So since left hand and right hand side are matching, this statement is proved. So now before we wind up, I'm going to take a quick recap of this whole procedure. Precisely, method of induction is used for only the positive integers or natural numbers. It cannot be used for real numbers. That's first. If you have natural numbers or positive integers, this is the best method. It's the quickest method to prove your statements. How do you do that? It is done in 3 steps. Okay. Step 1 is you check. It's a initial testing. You work for the initial value and find out if it works for, say, n is equal to 1. That's like my starting point. That's what we did here. You can see that here. Now, once the initial test is done, then in second step, we don't prove anything. We assume that n is equal to k works. What is k? K is any number, any natural number or positive integer number. Now, once we say, well, it works for n is equal to k, we already get one expression. We're going to make use of this expression and prove our step 3. And in step 3, we take n is equal to k plus 1 and we prove it there. That's what I did here. Prove for n is equal to k plus 1. And while expanding this expression I already got here in step 2. So from here I put that value in, right? And then I simplified this more. And finally I proved it. And then at the end of this, you should write a statement that by principle of method of induction, the given statement holds true for all natural numbers or all positive integers. And this is how method of induction work. I really hope you followed this video. This is one of the basic problem of math. But if you have any doubts, you feel free to ask questions in the comments. I will definitely get back to you. And if you've liked this video, please give it a like and share this video with your friends. It really helps the channel and definitely gives us a motivation. I thank you very much for watching this video. See you in the next one.